OnePlus devices are popular for a number of different reasons, but camera performance is definitely not one of them. Over the years, OnePlus phones have struggled to keep up with the competition in the camera department, but with its latest flagship, the company has really stepped up its game. The OnePlus 7 Pro packs in a total of 4 camera modules this time around, including a 48 megapixel primary sensor, an 8 megapixel telephoto lens, a 16 megapixel ultra-wide lens, and a 16 megapixel pop-up selfie camera. We tested the camera quite extensively and it seemed pretty great, so we thought of pitching it up against the iPhone XR. Both the phones are roughly in the same price range, and even though the iPhone XR just has 2 cameras in total, I think it's fair game because the iPhone, unlike OnePlus, has an impressive track record when it comes to the camera performance. Hey guys, this is Abhijit from Guiding Tech, and in this video, we'll be taking a close look at some pictures we clicked with both the devices to find out if OnePlus has finally nailed it in the camera department. Let's get right to it, shall we? To capture some amazing daylight shots with both the devices, we headed out to the iconic India Gate last week. And you might have already seen some of those photos on our Instagram account. If you haven't, then you should follow us right away. We post some amazing photos and stories along with behind the scenes action and Instagram exclusive giveaways that you wouldn't want to miss. You can find us at Guiding Tech, or you can follow the link in the description. Now that you have done that, let's get back to these two phones. So for daylight shots, we captured all the photos in the auto mode with HDR turned on, and here's what we found. While both the phones managed to capture some amazing shots, when we compared them side by side, the iPhone surprisingly outperformed the OnePlus 7 Pro in pretty much all scenarios. Take a look at this photo for example. At first glance, you would probably say that both the photos look pretty good, and I completely agree. They are pretty good photos. Set side by side, the photo clicked by the iPhone looks a bit better, with the natural color reproduction and good dynamic range. The other photo looks a bit flat in comparison, but upon closer inspection, you can see that the photo clicked by the OnePlus 7 Pro has more detail, and with just a tiny bit of editing, it can look a whole lot better than the other. This trend continues across all the photos we clicked. The iPhone consistently captured better looking photos, but the ones captured by the OnePlus had more details. Just take a look at few more shots. Next, take a look at some portrait shots, but bear in mind the XR has a single camera for the purpose, while the 7 Pro makes use of its telephoto lens to capture portrait shots, and as a result, portrait shots captured by the phone crop a significant part of the frame. Just take a look at this photo taken with the XR, and then taken by the 7 Pro. Not only did I have to move a bit further while clicking this photo, but I also lost a huge chunk of India Gate in the background because of the cropped frame. In terms of the overall quality, the image taken with the iPhone XR even looks better than the other. It has better color reproduction and the details in the face are left intact. As far as edge detection is concerned, both the phones perform equally well, with just a few missed spots around the buckles and zipper on the back. This remains consistent across other images captured by the two phones. Just take a look. Now let's take a look at the front camera. In this scenario, both the phones are on equal grounds, with one camera each, and even then, the iPhone manages to click better photos. Take a look at these shots for comparison. The image captured by the iPhone looks more natural and the colors are accurate. Let's zoom into India Gate in the background. Notice how the image on the left has a lighter shade? Well, that's not the right color. However, the OnePlus does offer better dynamic range and the sky isn't blown out as in the image captured by the iPhone. Here are a few more selfies. Don't the photos on the right just look better every time? When it comes to portrait selfies, however, the tables are turned. Take a look at this photo. The shot taken with the 7 Pro looks more Instagram ready and with a subtle background blur and with a good edge detection. But it lacks details. Even with beauty mode turned off, the phone tends to smooth out the details in my face and blows out the highlights. The iPhone, on the other hand, retains all the details and the photo isn't blown out. I agree that the bokeh effect looks a bit unnatural and the edge detection isn't as crisp, but with the iPhone you can adjust that after clicking the picture. The OnePlus doesn't have any such options. Selfies clicked in low light scenarios turn out significantly better with the OnePlus 7 Pro. They have more details and ample amount of light and little to no noise. Whereas with the iPhones, selfies clicked in the dark turn out soft and rather unappealing. Now, since we are clicking photos in the dark, let's take a look at the night mode capabilities offered by both the devices. As you'd probably know, the iPhone doesn't have a night mode while the OnePlus does. And as a result, shots captured by the OnePlus device are far superior. The phone manages to capture a lot of light even in the darkest settings, and the photos actually look quite good. The ones captured by the iPhone though are barely usable. They are dark, they don't have much in terms of details, and there's quite a bit of noise. OnePlus definitely takes the cake here. Rounding things off, let's take a look at some macro shots captured by both the devices. Once again, the iPhone XR does quite well here, delivering detailed images with accurate color reproduction and a natural background blur. The 7 Pro, on the other hand, doesn't manage to properly focus on the subject and even faces issues with the color reproduction. So in conclusion, even though the OnePlus 7 Pro packs great camera hardware, it still doesn't match up to the performance of the iPhone if we are just talking about how the photos come out without any tinkering or zooming in. The OnePlus does capture more details and manages to take some amazing night shots, which give it an edge over the competition. So if you're fine with tinkering the images slightly, I'm sure you won't face any issues with the phone. Well, that's it for today's video. If you want more such camera comparisons for phones that are in the same budget, make sure to subscribe to GT and also follow us on Instagram for cool photos. This is Abhijit signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.